Hello. Some random live stream. Why not? What's up? Yeah, what's up? How often do you play out? Not so often. I don't have I don't have a band. Hopefully in the future. Nice blues, thanks. So ja, tjenare Johnny. No, so I don't play very often. I go to some live, some blues jams here in Stockholm sometimes. At the pub, really fun. Wondering, let's just play something. I'll play something, and feel free to ask me anything, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can while I play, or maybe I'll stop playing and answer your questions. Anyway. Here's some funky groove. Let's try it. Hopefully you can hear this. See, it's funk groove in G. Yeah. guitar is a little bit out of tune. I know you guys asked a few questions, so I'm gonna take a look at them. Let's see. Let's tune this. Thanks. Yes, I'm noodling. I'm playing the same licks all over. Same licks. Let's see. Hope you don't mind me playing the same licks over and over again. So, let's see. What did you guys write? Let's see if I can get the chat up. How do I do that? All right, here we. Let's see. What do you guys ask? Emanuel, could you play some blues, including the 4th grade flat diminished? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I mean, if you're asking like a diminished scale, I could do that. When soloing, when do you break away from a scale pattern and opt for chord tones? Or I hate the chat here on YouTube. When soloing, when do you break away from scale pattern and opt for chord tones or even bizarre notes outside the scale or chord tone? Great question. When do you break away from a scale pattern? Well, I guess I try not to play so many patterns, but of course I do play patterns. Everyone does. And I guess when you really don't know what to play, it's kind of, you usually just play some pattern. But regarding when you break out of that and start to play chord tones and stuff like that, I always think about chord tones. Always, always, always. That's so important to think about chord tones. So when you, if you're jamming, whatever, if you're playing a blues, or in G, for example, which I was doing here, I never like just played G minor pentatonic. Obviously, I never play it up and down like that, but I don't usually just use the minor pentatonic. I add chord tones. Now, a lot of the chord tones from G7 are already within the G minor pentatonic scale, but not the major third, so you can obviously add the major third, like that, for example, or bend the minor third towards the major third. And obviously when you play a phrase, you usually want to end on a chord tone. So always thinking about chord tones. Even if I play some chromatics. Thinking about those chord tones all the time. So now you can hopefully hear I'm playing over a G7 chord. And then we're gonna go to the 4 chord in the blues. So I can still play the minor pentatonic, G minor pentatonic, G minor blues scale. But I will add the chord tones of C7 into the scale, to the minor pentatonic scales. For example, the major third. This note. So I could play G minor pentatonic or G minor blues scale, but with the major third of C. So hopefully, if I just noodle here between G7 and C7, you can hopefully hear how I'm switching between the two chords, just thinking about the chord tones and the minor blues scale. Yeah, I might throw in some other stuff, but that's essentially what I'm doing. So just G major, to C, back to G, and then to G, to D, D7. You can hear the switch there, hopefully. That's why because you can hopefully hear the changes here because I'm outlining the chord progression. I'm thinking about the chord tones. And back to C. Back to 1. So let's check out a few more questions here. Let's see. Right. Let's see here. Same links to you, my friend. Any tips for learning to follow the changes when improvising? So yeah, essentially everything I said now. You know, if you want to learn how to improvise over changes, learn the concept of chord tones. I mean, at least that's how I do it. I'm not saying there are other methods, but that's how I think. If it's jazz, blues, or pop, whatever, I'm thinking about the chord tones. If I'm playing a 1, 6, 2, 5 in E, so I'm playing over E chord here, hopefully you can hear that. And then to the 6th chord, which is C sharp 7. To B. To A. To E. Obviously, you don't want to only play arpeggios because then it sounds super boring, super dull. If you play like only arpeggios, like C minor, C sharp minor, B, you can clearly hear the chord changes, but it's hard to make good phrases only using chord tones. But the chord tones are the most important stuff. Then you add other stuff in between, you could say, like scale tones, chromatics, whatever. So chord tones, I would say. Doesn't matter what kind of style, what kind of music you're playing, pop, jazz, or whatever. Let's see. Hello, how many hours a day do you practice and how many days a week? Ooh. So I don't practice that much, maybe 1 or 2 hours I've tried to practice per day. Most of the time I'm editing videos, preparing lessons, because I do make a living on Patreon. So I post the lessons there on Patreon. So a lot of my time goes into recording and editing lessons and transcribing everything I post, by the way, on my YouTube page. Most of the stuff you can find tabs for it on my Patreon page. So yeah, I don't practice that much, I would say. Maybe 1 to 2 hours per day. I wish I had time to practice more, because that's the most I love to practice. It's super fun. How you mix pentatonic with Leithian scale? I don't know what Leithian scale is. any tips for mixing any tips for mixing minor and major in a blues solo? That's a great question, which you should learn. So essentially, if you mix the minor and major pentatonic scale, you essentially get the mixolydian scale. So let's say you're playing in A. So you have the A minor pentatonic, and then the A major pentatonic. If you mix those together with the added minor third, so here's the A mixolydian scale with added minor third. Sorry. I forgot the minor third again. I don't know why. Here's the minor third. That's the mixolydian scale. A mixolydian. So that is essentially the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic. But regarding how do you learn to do that? Well, you learn phrases. Learn phrases from other players where they are actually mixing the two scales. But also I would learn to play the two different scales, the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic, in the same position. So here's the A minor pentatonic. Then you should also know how to play the major pentatonic here, in the same position. Here's A major pentatonic. So you should know how to play the A minor pentatonic also in this position. So obviously, if you know those positions, it's easier to combine the two scales. That's it, like combining the two scales, you could say. So, yeah, learn the different positions of the two scales and learn phrases from other guitar players. For example, my Patreon page. Let's see. Let's see. What else did you? Let's take a few more questions. Then I have to end this. Any tips for me? Let's see. I meant that if you can play a 1-4-5 blues classic. So of course, sorry, I'm reading here. So I'm thinking about the question here. James Power wrote the question here, but I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I don't know really if I understand the question, James Power. Sorry. Let's see. Thanks, Jeff. If you feel free to check out my Patreon page. Yeah, I got a lot of lessons there. You have a link to my Patreon page, usually in the description for my posts. It's $3, so it's $3 per month. It's not much, I would say. I would say it's pretty cheap. But anyway, what do you think about Danny Gaddon? He's awesome. I don't like actively listen to him, but he's great guitar player. Does teaching help you improve as a player? For example, if you're struggling with a concept, will you teach that concept to help yourself think through it? Yeah, absolutely. For sure, man. Teaching about different things absolutely help you get to be a better player. Okay, here's a question about Jeff. I meant Lydian. Okay, what was your previous question? Already, I forgot. When soloing, when do you break? I already answered that. But so Jeff, I don't know if you're still here. Are you asking like how to incorporate the Lydian scale? I don't like in a blues. I'm just thinking about the blues here. You can use the dominant Lydian scale. So that would be the Mixolydian scale. So let's say we're in G here again. So G Mixolydian. That's the G Mixolydian scale. But if you can play the G Lydian dominant. That's the same scale as the G Mixolydian. So you have the G Mixolydian, but then you have G Lydian dominant. And the G Lydian dominant, the only difference is that it has a sharp 11th, sharp 4. So here's the G Mixolydian. Here's the Lydian dominant. So that's a cool scale to use in the blues. I don't use that scale very often, but sometimes I try to insert it. I'm no an expert at using that, but let me try. Anyway, maybe I'll fail and it will sound horrible. We'll see. So I'll try to use it over the 1 chord here. Really like emphasizing the sharp 11th there a little bit too much, but that's the note which makes it Lydian, so it would make sense to emphasize that note, but now I did it a little bit too much just for the purpose of this lesson. Yeah, so that's my best answer to that question, Jeff. Daboof, love your playing, thank you very much. Please tell me what the small box on top of the amp with the green light on. Please tell me what the small box on the top of the amp with the green light on. Are you thinking this one? Probably you're asking about. This is an aux top amp. It's an attenuator. I don't use it at the moment. Can you explain how and when to use chromatics? You can use chromatics whenever you want. But I prefer to use chromatics when you want to add a lot of tension, probably before going to another chord. So, yeah, I think the Lydian scale works best over the 4 chord, but you can also use it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do agree there, Alan. I think the Lydian scale probably works best over the 4 chord, but you can use it also on the 1 chord. It doesn't need to be a vamp. You can use the Lydian dominant scale on the 1 chord in the blues also. It's because, I mean, actually, if you think about it, it actually makes perfect sense to use the Lydian dominant scale on the 1 chord in the blues, because the sharp 11th is the blues note, the blue note of the minor pentatonic. So you can just play the G Mixolydian scale, but add the blue note, which makes it Lydian then. Okay, I need to end this. I'm gonna do some live streaming on Facebook also. So check out, yeah, if you want to hear me play some more, check out my Facebook page. It's just my name, Emanuel Hedberg. Yeah. I love your playing. Do you smoke weed for inspiration on writing music and playing? No, I don't smoke weed. No. But I don't have anything against it if you want to smoke, so that's not my problem. Thank you guys for checking out this little random live stream. Now I'm gonna go over to Facebook and jam some. Cheers, bye.